We're trying something new at the Q. We're making apple butter pulled pork. And if you stay along for the ride, you might learn a thing or two. Let's get into this. We got a pork butt and prep work. There it is. We're gonna let this pork butt sit for 3 days in Blake's apple cider. We got one of those meat bags from Killer Hogs Barbecue, and we're gonna dump that whole gallon in with the pork butt. Zip it up, make it airtight, then we got a 2-gallon bucket we're gonna toss it in. Of course, we gotta keep it spooky. 3 days later, we're pulling it out of the pack. It's going to show some discoloration. That's very normal. Now with pork butt, we want some savory and some sweet. Usually I would use double sweet on this, but because of the brine, I'm adding some AP seasoning. Then you want a sweet barbecue rub to go with it. Pick your favorite sweet or apple rub. I'm using Killer Hogs Rib Rub. This is gonna add some sweetness and give us a beautiful mahogany color once everything's all said and done. I get this all the time. People say I use way too much seasoning, but because of the cut of meat this is, it's so big, it can handle all that seasoning. You should only really be worried about over seasoning with salt and pepper style rubs, and other exclusions apply. Now we want a smoker that's gonna last long term, meaning we want it to last more than 8 hours. So we're cooking on the Char Griller Gravity 980, cooking on some supersized Royal Oak charcoal. This gravity chamber can hold the whole bag, plus some wood. One bag with wood should last you about 8 to 9 hours, 10 if you're lucky. We're gonna set our smoker low and slow. That's between 225 to 275 degrees Fahrenheit. The sweet spot is 225. Be sure not to overcrowd your grill, meaning don't add 6 pork butts at a time in here. You want some nice airflow around the pork. We started this at 6 p.m. and checked it at about 5 a.m. At 175 degrees, we're gonna get an aluminum pan with 1 stick of butter, throw our pork butt inside there, then add a cup of apple cider. Yes, 145 degrees Fahrenheit is safe for pork to eat, but we want it to break apart, so we're gonna get this all the way up to 205 degrees Fahrenheit. At 205, we let it rest for an hour, then it's time to start pulling. If your bone comes out clean like this, you know you did it right. Another tip when handling hot meat, I typically use a food-safe nitrile glove plus a hand saver underneath. Another fun thing I like to do to make my pulled pork pop, I put the drippings into a gravy separator, so I'm only adding the juice. I'm also gonna season our pulled pork again with a little bit of that sweet rub to really make those flavors pop. This is a good moment for you to start tasting your pulled pork to see if you need to add more juice or more seasoning. Now for the apple butter. We were at Spicer's Orchards and we found this apple butter barbecue sauce, and I thought this would be perfect. Unfortunately, we drank all the cider, so we had to go with Blake's. We're gonna add that directly to our pulled pork. Some people want it on top, but we really want the apple flavor to pop in this. Once you have the consistency that you like, go ahead and plate it up. We like using King's Hawaiian rolls or a nice brioche bun, and we like to pile it high. If you're so inclined, you could add some coleslaw, you could add some more barbecue sauce. It's all up to you. But this was perfect. Bursting with apple flavor and ready for fall. Like what we're cooking? Be sure to like, follow, share, and subscribe. And as always, we'll see you guys at the next barbecue.